My name is Sheilah Chikoki. I'm a certified It Starts With Me trainer. I was working on the Economic Strengthening Program with Global Fund and Desmond Tutu Foundation. It was quite an amazing journey. It was beautiful in every aspect of it. It was quite phenomenal, just from the experience with the ladies, and especially when you would find that they are following through with everything that is being discussed, and the fact that it was so relevant for them, and the fact that for most of them it was like the first chance that they were getting to be able to speak about their feelings and being asked about how they feel, and being able to have them challenged in terms of really looking at the way they do things. And it was actually a beautiful thing, and it was good hearing from them, verbalizing it themselves, that they appreciate the program and the fact that somebody is actually looking out for them and listening to them and is concerned about how they feel and how they look at things. And especially the fact that they were made to understand that they still have there's hope in every situation that they find themselves in, and they don't need to be looking around and outside of themselves for the responses and the answers to what they need in their lives. And for me personally, when they would speak about this, and when you'd realize that for real they're actually seeing that they can actually take responsibility and they can actually do something about their situations, and that they do not need to keep on looking back at the past and have it continue shaping the way their life is going on. Like it was phenomenal, because that's actually the whole essence of the whole program, for them to realize that they can take control of their lives. They are able to make a change in their lives, that they can forget what happened yesterday, but be able to understand it, so that they're able to understand what is happening today and be able to shape their way forward in their lives. What I also especially liked about the program is that not only did it help them in their own individual capacities, but it helped them as individuals. It helped them in their parenting journey, because most of them are already parents as well. It also helped them with their families, because you could tell some would even then give you a situation about their sibling or the situation at home, and even showing how that they realize now what is the problem and what is the underlying cause, and with them then just going on to say, but remember, it starts with me, so I now know what I need to do. And that was the beauty of it all. Yes. Another important thing that I also noticed out of this program is that, just by nature of the things that we discussed, for once they were now able to look back and reflect on their lives, and not continue just living life like as if everything is just a spiral and they don't have control and it just happens. But you could actually tell that they're actually saying, oh, but really, why do I really do that? It's like everything is like a formed pattern that they feel it just has to happen in that way. But all of a sudden they could realize that, no, but why am I even doing it anyway? I need to reconsider. I need to relook at things. I need to challenge myself in what I know and the way I do things, so that I can adopt a more desirable way that speaks to that which I really want to do in my life. Making better choices, understanding who you are, tapping into yourself and really ask yourself, why do I do what I do? Is this what I really want to be? And can I still be able to go to that point where I want to be? I liked especially what they would say when would look at the part that says, what would the child that you used to be, that you once were, say about the adult that you've become? And you could look at them in the face to say, I'd be disappointed. She would be disappointed. Who should go like, oh. And to me, that is the importance, because it would show that they're really realizing that somehow, somewhere in the way along the way, they derailed, but they're able to then see the need for them to put themselves back on track and be able to live life purposefully according to that which they wanted it to be from the initial, from when they were still young. Before I even moved to the challenges, I also loved especially the collaboration with the other partners, the fact that we would get to do that which we know best. and another partner would do what they know best, but all collectively with the aim of making sure that we empower these young women. To me, that's a very good model, and that's a good concept when it comes to building someone holistically. On the challenges part of it, to me it was more of logistics. There are quite a number of things that I felt had more consideration been done on the drawing table prior to the onset of the program. There are a lot of ad hoc things that would have been kept for by just making sure that systems are put in place appropriately and proper considerations are made before the actual implementation of the program. For example, things like transport, a lot of other factors that affected had to be put into place before then getting into a deal with someone to offer the transport of it, because it also became one of the major things that affected the facilitations, where at times you'd have to wait. I remember at some point I had to wait for a good 2 hours before facilitation because of the transport was late. And most of the time, actually, more often than less, I would have to wait until the participants that were being transported would come in. Also, other little things like logistics, like food and venues, also needed to, I would believe that prior to the implementation of the program, they needed to be properly looked into so that they do not become factors, because they might seem so little, but they've got a huge impact in terms of the rollout of the program and how the participants view the whole program. And also in terms of whether they then get to concentrate on the content that is being intended, or that they spend so much time focusing on these unnecessary minor details, which then kind of makes the impact of the whole program to be less than what it would have had. Another major challenge that I saw personally is the fact that there seemed to be no proper sync amongst the service providers, in the sense that at times I would feel like, I'll speak for our program, we teach responsibility, and that goes a long way in the way things are done, in how disciplined you are in your timekeeping, in how you conduct your facilitation, in terms of whether there's a certain level of order in the way things are done. But that, to me, and also the way we would address the participants and how we would make them feel as a people, which to me is very important overally in making sure that we keep them motivated. For us to be able to have the program having the effect that we wanted, we needed to always look into all these little things in terms of how do we relate to the to the participants, how do we conduct ourselves, how do we do things, how do we leave the venue looking, are we disciplined enough and considerate enough for other people that are sharing the same venue in other rooms? Because at the end of the day, those are some of the little things that might seem small, but that go a long way in terms of the way a person looks at their lives and whether or not they are able to do things in a way that makes them really sure that they are empowered and they are ready to take their lives to another level. So to me, I felt perhaps our program, because that's the sole mandate of it, would want to look at things in that way, but then it wouldn't really have a lasting effect if ever another service provider would concentrate on their own kind of content only, but leave those things that has to do with responsibility and discipline and values and principles in the way they conduct themselves. So I feel, just as a suggestion for future purposes, more time has to be invested in making sure that there's a sync and there's a culture that is created amongst all the partners that will be implementing one program, so that we don't do things that one partner is doing something and the other partner is shooting it in the foot because of the way that they conduct themselves. Overall, though, taking into consideration the positive impact and the challenges that came with the program, overall, I felt very humbled by the experience. I loved it. I love the fact that the collaboration. I love the fact that the age group, the targeted age group, because really this is a people that would need that push and that hope to be restored, to say you can still make it. And it's actually a key age group that, if for those that really took it seriously, this can be a beginning of something else that is completely new in their lives. This can be a new beginning, and whatever chances they had missed in the process, they can still be able to put their lives back in shape because of this opportunity. So it was beautiful. I loved the effect that it had. I loved being 19 to 24 again, and also just making sure that we are at least having a conversation with people that make them realize that they're still valuable, that they still can make it, because it seems there's just too much negativity in the society that we are living in right now. And this was a perfect opportunity for these young women to at least be at it in terms of shaping their lives and redirecting their minds in terms of how they want to look at life.